you ready for some awesome breakdowns with Scott and Sean? It's time for 6 Minute Abs. Step into my office. Let's go!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 6 Minute Abs. Awesome breakdowns with Scott and Sean. We're here today talking a little Delta Squad 1, and this is a pretty fun one to talk about because it's got a lot of our friends in this one. We're going to start with the one hole with our buddy Beers, and this is not only Beers, this is also Cyborg, who drafted the first few picks in this round and this draft and then had to roll. So Beers took over his team. So this team is not Beers. This team is not Cyborg. It is Cybeers. So Team Cybeers started out with Drake May and Matthew Stafford as their top two quarterbacks. And then they waited all the way down here to snag Aaron Rodgers. If he actually starts this year, that is a tremendous pick there. So if you go all the way back up to the top, though, and you look at their running back room, Ashton Janty, Coleman, Williams, Warren, Algier, I think those guys are all good players to have, along with Gainwell and Dobbins. Both solid picks there late in the draft. I really like the way they went that route. Nico Collins, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, good players there. Diggs, Franklin, could potentially be beneficial. I'd be a little concerned about your depth in that room. Hunter Henry and A.J. Barner, I'm a little concerned about. Ferguson and Tonjans, I think is good picks for that time in the draft, but I am a little concerned about the depth on that part. Otherwise, I think that Cybeers didn't do a terrible job in this draft, especially considering it was two different visions.
Coming in at 1-2, we got Trader Clem, and they let him get Josh Allen. There's no way he was passing that up. He has Jordan Love and Bryce Young in his quarterback stable. That is very, very nice. He usually Clem goes running back kind of early, but this time he waited till the 6th round to get Quinshon Judkins, who I like a lot. David Montgomery, new Texan. And he sprinkled in a little David Pollard, Krosky Merritt, and Jordan Mason. So pretty nice there as far as the running back stable. His receiving room is very nice also with CeeDee Lamb, Tet McMillan, Brian Thomas Jr., and then a bunch of Ayuk, Samuel Judy, and Ridley. So some complementary pieces there. The tight end room is definitely very strong with Brock Bowers, Oronde Gadsden, and Jake Ferguson, which I think is a steal in the 11th round. Trader Clem, you did a really good job with this team in the 2-hole. You are definitely a competitor.
Hey, you hear that quite often in these breakdowns, don't you? Let's move on to Chev, drafted in the 3-hole. Joe Burrow, Tyler Shuck, love those two right there. If you go all the way down to the rest of his squad, though, I'm a little disappointed because he doesn't have another quarterback. So if one of those two gets injured or just doesn't play well this year, there's a big concern there for him in that area. Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, Tyson Boston Harrison. Now, he is not an auto drafter in these situations. I do think he likes these receivers enough to know what he's doing there by taking them. So that was not by accident, in my opinion. I do like that room. If those guys pop for him at least one, then he's looking pretty decent. Sam Laporta, Theo Johnson. Look, I did it like you do. Theo Johnson down here. I think that does a good first round 9-3 for Sam Laporta. I love it, but Theo Johnson is maybe not the best guy to have, especially since your depth is not really there. You got a lot of rookies here, man, a lot of faceless guys, which, like I said, you know what you're doing when it comes to rooks. So I wouldn't hate these picks because I trust your evaluations. Otherwise, Chev, I think you have a decent enough team here to be competitive. I just don't know for sure if it's going to work out or not until we see what the rookies do.
All right, coming in at 1-4, we got Ever Victorious. And the quarterback room looks like this. Caleb Williams, Jared Goff, and Michael Penix, who has competition there with Tua in the quarterback room. The running back room, Breece Hall at the 4-9. I think that's pretty good value right there. You did get a rookie in Price and Kyle Monangai, who I really like. James Conner, who's falling out of favor in Arizona, and Isaiah Pacheco, who's newly signed by Detroit. So looking for some goal line carries there. The wide receiver room is Drake London, T. Higgins, Luther Burton, Jordan Addison. Not too bad. And then the tight end, you have Trey McBride in the 2nd, who actually is a little bit of a drop. He usually goes kind of early in these drafts. So I think that's pretty nice value right there. And then he waited all the way to the 13th round to get Juwan Johnson, who I really like, and Shiga Kongwa in the 18th. Ever Victorious, I think this is a good team. I just don't think it's a great team. So you have kind of an upper hill to climb.
At the 5 spot, it's our good buddy Shadows, the Adam Schefter of the pod. Let's see if he can turn that breaking news into a good team. Patrick Mahomes, Fernando Mendoza. He wasn't on the Kirk Cousins deal, but this was granted a while back. So, that doesn't mean anything. So with those two quarterbacks, though, Jacoby Brissett is the right guy to have in the spot because he's at least your second starter at this point. I do like that team based on that extra little bump there in the quarterback room. Jeremiah Love is the first pick off the board for running back. He followed that up with Walker and DeAndre Swift, along with Blake Corum. I think that makes his room a little bit more stable, knowing that the rookie is a hit or miss depending on how things go. So I do like that room, especially if the rookie pops off, then you're looking really good. You got Colston Loveland, who I think is a really solid pick there, third tight end off the board in most drafts. Isaiah Likely, David Njoku. I like that room quite a bit as well. Devontae Adams, Wan'Dale Robinson, Michael Wilson, Parker Washington. I keep wanting to say something different. And Cooper Kupp, I think, is all in a really solid room in depth in general. Cooper Kupp, really, we don't know what's going to get out of him, but everybody else, you're going to look good at it. I really like this team, Shadows. I think you did a solid job, especially knowing that, we don't get to evaluate your drafts very often. So this was a good one for somebody who doesn't draft in these leagues often.
All right. Coming in at the 1-6, we got Tubadoose. And this is one of my favorite teams after looking and evaluating this team. He hit every position perfectly. He set up the quarterback room with Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Geno Smith, but where he really got sneaky and sniped me was all the way down in the 25th round, Deshaun Watson, who could potentially be a starter in that offense. If that hits, that's going to be probably the best value on the board if he ends up being a starting quarterback. The running back room is Saquon Barkley, Trayvon Henderson, and Josh Jacobs, and then a bunch of number twos at the bottom, which you need to do in those late 20 rounds with Ollie Gordon, Chris Rodriguez, Jaden Blue, and even all the way down to Jonah. Is it Jonah Hill? Is it James Hill? Is it Jimmy Hill? I don't know, but it's a Hill. And
it's a Justice Hill.
Justice Hill. There you go. And he'll definitely get the receiving role in that Baltimore offense. The wide receiver room, it looks like Puka Nacua obviously was in the news for biting somebody. Good luck with that. Roma Dunze and DJ Moore, new Buffalo Bill, Quentin Johnson, Jaden Reed, and Jaden McMillan. And I actually like Isaac Tesla there in Detroit too. I think he'll be the number 3 receiver there. The tight end room, George Kittle, Dalton Kincaid, and Dalton Schultz was very underrated. Tubadoose, I really like this team. You are going to compete for the top 2 spots.
Good job, Tubadoose. And I do like the fact that you actually have a sousaphone in your photo. Double Down Dan. This guy right here, DGen Fantasy. We all know we've been waiting to see how this breakdown goes. Let's see if Dan redeems himself after the last showing, which was pretty bad. Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold, and Garrett Newsma going to be playing, that's for sure. So I don't know what he's doing there in his depth with the quarterback room, but it's not going to be good if either one of those 2 guys don't play well. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tate, Myers, Concepcion, Worthy. I mean, that room's okay. I got a couple of guys that are real solid and a couple of rooks that you're going to need to step up for you. James Cook, Bucky Irving, Rico Dowdle, Tyrone Tracy, another ho-hum, not bad, but not great. One of those types of scenarios in your running back room, same as your receiver room. Let's see if you did better in the tight end room. Oh, wait, you took Sadiq over Kraft? Okay. You might have helped a little bit by getting Pitts in the 9th round, but you waited quite a while. Kate Otten is pretty decent. I think I could give you a pass on that room. But the rest of them, Dan, man, you are lacking, my friend. You'd think that some DGen fantasy people would be a little more DGen in their fantasy, but I guess Double Down Dan has some work to do.
Wow, picking on his fellow Bill buddy.
Love you. Go Bills.
Coming in at 1-8, we got Tortoise. He started off excellently with, if that's even a word, with Bijan Robinson all the way down at 1-8. It is now, yeah. What a debacle that was. And then Jonathan Taylor in the 2nd round, really nice value there. Zach Charbonnet was coming back from injury. Brishelle Tootin, who I think is really, really good value in the 10th round. And James Brooks, he could be somebody that gets some run this year in Carolina. He's coming off a 1-year injury where he was off for the whole year, so we'll look for that. His quarterback room's not too bad with Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield, and Tua. The tight end room I really like a lot, Brendan Strange and Ty Warren. But where I think this team lacks is the receiving room, which is a little scary with Mbuka, Waddle, Christian Watson. We don't know what we're going to get out of him. Chris Godwin and Rashid Shaheed. I mean, it's not too bad, but I just think it's a little bit weak there. So Tortoise, not my favorite team to evaluate because I know you can be a better drafter than this, but it wouldn't shock me if you finished in the top 5.
Wow. Breaking news, everybody. Scott broke the news for you. During his rehab, he did decide to change his name from Jonathan Brooks to James Brooks. So
I'm sorry, James.
you guys get to hear that first and foremost here on 6 Minute Abs. Addy Hutz drafted in the 9 hole. Jaden Daniels, Cam Ward, all the way back down here is Shador Sanders, JJ McCarthy. I actually don't hate those picks at the point that you took them, especially if one of them could win a starting job this year. That gives you the depth you need, and you were able to attack other positions since you waited. You got Jackson Smith and Jigba, George Pickens, and by the way, JSN in the 2-4 hole. What was going on here? As Scott likes to say, what is wrong with you people? Going down to the Jackson Smith and Jigba, George Pickens, Mike Evans, Alec Pierce, Jalen Coker. I think he's got a solid team there in the wide receiver room. Devon Achane, Kyron Williams, Travis Etienne. I do think you got a solid room in the running back room. Everything about this team is looking good, especially since you were able to grab Tucker Kraft, Mark Andrews as your 2 solid tight ends. You didn't really do much else after that, so the depth there's a little concerning. But other than that, as long as that tight end room doesn't come back to haunt you injury-wise, I think you have a chance to be the top team in this league.
Wow. Coming in at 110, we got Gambino Telly, and his quarterback room is Brock Purdy, Malik Willis, and all the way down to really nothing much with Mac Jones and Spencer Rattler. So a little weak at the quarterback room. I'd like to see a little stronger quarterback room there. But he did get Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round, along with Chase Brown in the 4th. He ended up with Cam Scatteraboo coming off an injury, and Chuba Hubbard down at the 10th round. I really like a lot. I think that's really good value. I think he's going to run with that job now that Rico Dowdle is gone. The wide receiver room is Rashee Rice in the 3rd, not too bad. Jameson Williams, Devontae Smith, and Ricky Pearsall, along with Josh Downs there in Indianapolis. So not too bad there. And then this is where the problem comes in with the tight end room. He did get a rookie in Stowers, Mason Taylor, who should have a really good year this year, TJ Hawkinson, who's always injured and never around. So sorry, Gambino Telly, I do not like this team at all. I think that you could have attacked the quarterback position a little more and the tight end position a little bit more. But it's the first draft I've seen you do, so better luck next time.
Man, Scott, I threw you a softball to come make fun of me too because I totally said you're saying wrong. It's what are we doing here, people, is your thing. So sorry for saying it wrong, Scotty. I know that that's the right way to say it, right? Give me a real quick.
How about you evaluate my team and tell everyone that it's the best team in the league? How about
that? Come on, man. What are we doing here, people? All right. Anyways, let's go on. Scott's team here at the 11th spot. Jamar Chase, Zay Flowers, DK Metcalf, Cortland Sutton, Romeo Dobbs. I mean, I can't hate on that receiving room. I do like that you hit your stud and then came back around and were still able to snag Zay Flowers all the way down to the 7-11. I do think that's pretty much a steal there at that point in the draft. Jackson Dart, Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones. We always know you want your 3 starters at quarterback, and you were able to do that this time around. You went back the same way. How do you get Christian McCaffrey at 311? I have no idea. So you end up with him, Derrick Henry. You got the gray beard running room. I like it. And then right down here, you got Rashee White, Tajay Spears, Mitchell. Any one of those 3 could maybe be a guy that helps out 1 week here and there. So it's another good room there. If you go down in Harold Fannin, Dallas Goedert, each of them are supposed to start for their squad. Goddard going back to Philly makes a big difference there. Helps a lot. I think this team has some chance there. You really did do well as grabbing Kelsey in the 15th round. Now we know he's coming back for sure. That's a steal. So your team has a chance to be competitive. Not quite as good as the guy who drafted in the 2 hole, but it's up there.
I mean, at the 112, we got Aiden, our dog, our buddy Addy. And you know what? The minute this draft started and I look and saw was on the other side of me, I knew it was going to be Snipe City. So he started off and sniped me with Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert. I thought one of those 2 would get back to me, and they didn't. So good job, Eddie, right there. And he also got that was a kabacle. And he also did get CJ Stroud in the 8th round. So very nice quarterback room, Eddie. The running back room is Omarion Hampton, RJ Harvey, Rookie and Johnson, and then Trey Benson and Aaron Jones. So not too bad right there. And then the receiving room is Chris Olave, bust led McConkey and Mekhi Lemon, one of the first rookies off the board. Michael Pittman, Travis Hunter, which I'm not crazy about. So not like super jumping up and down for the wide receiver room. And then the tight end, I don't know what you were doing at tight end, but you ended up with a rookie Jolly and Pat Freiermuth. So I think there was wasted opportunities. Instead of taking a rookie and Bell, you could have went Goddard or Brendan Strange right there. So I would have liked that a lot better. So other than that, though, not a bad team. But Eddie, you between you and Chev, you guys are definitely better Devy players.
Oh, wow. Look at that little dig to end it out. All right, man. I mean, that was a lot of fun. We actually went over quite a bit that time, but who cares? That was a good one because these are our buddies, and it was fun to pick on everybody here when they're not here to defend themselves, right? All right, guys. Thanks a lot. That's going to be the end of this one. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. That's myself, Sean, and that is my co-host, Scott, for 6 Minute Abs. We are out of here.
Let's go!
Thanks for watching 6 Minute Abs. Please like and subscribe to Sudden Death Fantasy Sports.
Let's go!